So I ain't come here long. Not sure if anybody even gonna see this video. Don't really care. But what I know is I'm so sick of seeing all this stuff about Claressa Shields, okay? Now, I was happy to learn about her in the beginning, you know, because of what she was doing and where she's from. But as I started getting to know her, it was not based upon her boxing, her talent, or none of that. Her story. The way I started getting to know her was based off all of the drama she keeps inserting herself in. And what I do want to say to people is people keep trying to question why this girl's so unhinged, why she's so unstable, why she's so delusional. It's because she's spiritually filthy. And when I say spiritually filthy, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about her ability to be interconnected with herself, her ability to be connected to reality, her ability to be self-conscious, her ability to be conscious and aware of the things that's going on around her, her ability to have a perspective that helps her make healthy decisions. She's spiritually filthy. And you know what they say? They have a saying, if you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. This girl been laying with dogs all her life, her whole childhood. Look at her family. All of this is about generational curses. And y'all sitting here witnessing what the product of generational curses look like, watching her and her family all over the internet unhinged, because all of them are unhinged. All of them are detached from reality. Claressa don't realize the reason why she's going through what she's going through is because she had a whole generational curse to break. She was the generational curse breaker. And unfortunately, she never went through her own awakening so that she could realize why she was being put in this position in the first place. Was to break her family from generational curses. Was to break her family from poverty. Was to break her family from drugs and alcohol abuse and all these other things that they ended up having to deal with because of their generational curses. People don't realize what generational curses really are. They think it's just a figment of speech. It's so much more deeper than that. And then y'all wonder why she's acting the way that she's acting. Because she's spiritually unaligned with herself and her purpose. This is why she had the ability to get out here and be seen in the public's eye and then go overboard with her arrogance. Look at that. Claressa is a powerful person, but she's not using her power right. You're supposed to be using your power to free yourself and free people and heal. Star energy. She's supposed to be a star. But you know what she's doing? She's blocking her own light. And you know why? Because she's not spiritually aligned with herself. And please do not use the word spiritual or take the word spiritual and religion in the same context. I am not talking about religion. Religion is based on a set of beliefs, limited beliefs. Notice when I say limited beliefs. Religion does not allow you to explore. It doesn't allow you to grow. It doesn't have room for growth because it gives you a set of beliefs that you're supposed to stay stuck on and rigid to. This is why most people with religious beliefs don't grow. They're limited in that. They lack growth. They lack being open-minded. They lack being able to see things from different perspectives because they're stuck to dogma. Okay? Now y'all hear this girl talking about her belief in Christ and all of that, but then you see her running around with a married man, and it's not making sense to a lot of people. That's because religion is only connected to dogma and limited beliefs. It doesn't heal you. It doesn't help you grow. It doesn't free you from anything. But your spirituality, her whole point and purpose of being put in this position was for her to use it as a spiritual journey. She didn't do that. She used it to be toxic. She brought all this toxicity with her. And this is why she's right now at this point heading herself towards destruction. And a lot of people don't want to admit the fact that, yo, what you're doing is not helping you. All the people that's going along with her, trying to defend her in this crisis, she's in a spiritual crisis. All the people that's defending her in this space is because she's mirroring things that's toxic about themselves. You understand what I'm saying? She doesn't have insight. She does not have insight. She got a lot of people interfering in her being accountable for herself. But the bottom line is she's heading herself towards financial destruction. Debt, financial back to poverty. She's leading herself back to this stuff. Why? Because she doesn't have spiritual control over herself. She's not spiritually awakened. She has no spiritual senses. And this is why she's not self-aware. This is why she doesn't see herself. She's living in this delusion because she's dealing with her limited belief system. She doesn't know how to properly plan for anything because you got all of these different emotions that she's dealing with. The girl is all over the place spiritually. Her third eye is blocked. Her crown chakra is blocked. Her throat chakra is unbalanced. Her solar plexus is unbalanced. This girl don't get no sleep. She ain't getting no sleep. All of these old childhood memories that she's holding on to, the vindictiveness that she's holding on to, the vendetta she has towards women. This girl is holding on to a lot of toxicity that's going to lead her nowhere but to destruction because she needs a spiritual cleansing. And that's the bottom line. She needs a spiritual cleansing. You know, you got all this money. You want a husband. You want a life for yourself, you know, but all you're doing is showing people that you wouldn't even know how to handle these things if you did get it. You wouldn't know how to handle it. She doesn't have any etiquette. And the reason why is because she needs a spiritual cleansing. She needs a spiritual cleansing. And she's codependent on Papoose emotionally. He's like a father to her, a surrogate father / lover. Okay? This is what this is. And this is why it doesn't make sense. Y'all wonder why she's Papoose. She's emotionally codependent on him. That's exactly what it is. Her delusions have developed because of her spiritual toxicity, her spiritual unalignment. She needs a spiritual cleansing. Bottom line. And she's not listening to people. She doesn't want to hear anything anybody has to say because when your throat chakra is imbalanced, that's connected to your ears. When your crown chakra is imbalanced, you don't have any spiritual connection to anything. You're so caught up in worldly attachments and what things appear to be. And that's what she's attached to. She's attached to the material realm. She has no spiritual connection whatsoever. She's not being spiritually led. She's not being spiritually guided to anything. She has no spiritual guidance at all. And people keep talking about, well, she needs a team of people around her. The girl needs spiritual guidance. And I'm not talking about religion. I mean, she needs a spiritual cleansing and a ritualistic cleansing that can make her align with herself, that can bring her in alignment to herself so that she can walk in her purpose. But at this point, is it too late? I don't think so. She's rigid. 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. She's stuck in this generational curse. And she don't want to come out of it because some people get comfortable in that. They get comfortable in filth. You ever seen a person's house that they had mess everywhere? Junky. Paper all over the place. You walk in there, you're stepping over stuff, right? If you look at a house, you can compare that to a person's mindset. Because people live and manifest only what's in their mind. So when people are junky in the house, that means that they're also psychologically chaotic. Because what's in the mind is going to manifest into your reality. This is what y'all are witnessing with this young lady. She's mentally chaotic. She's mentally chaotic. You could go into a person's house and try to clean up. They don't want you touching their stuff because they're going to tell you, I can't go be able to find nothing if you clean it up. Leave it like that. I know where everything's at. How do you possibly know where everything is at if everything in your house is junky and all over the place? But you have some people who live like that. You clean their house up, straighten up for them. You go back the next day, it's junk all over the place because that's how they've learned to live. They're comfortable in confusion. 5 of Wands. They're comfortable in that. And unfortunately, what you have is somebody who ended up getting an opportunity to be famous and publicly known for one thing, but because they did not use that fame and prosperity properly to do what they were led to spiritually or supposed to spiritually do with it, now you have somebody that's being known for drama, chaos, being emotionally unhinged, that's let anything fly out of her mouth. She doesn't have any spiritual regulation. She's emotionally dysregulated. Why? Because this is what she's attached to. This is her energy right here. So people keep wanting to use her childhood as an excuse. Let me tell you something. We choose. We pick and choose who we want to become. The days of giving people excuses because they've dealt with some sort of childhood trauma is over. Okay? Jeffrey Dahmer was also a neglected child. His mother was a pillhead. His father was never at home. His parents fought all the time. Did that give him an excuse to become a serial murderer? No. Did it give him any excuse to go do what he did to people? No. So I wish people would stop talking about, oh, she had a hard life. So what? So what? Ain't nobody patting you on the back and rubbing you on the belly and giving you an excuse to go around here demolishing people's characters, talking about people, slandering people, betraying people who's tried to be. You're doing that because this is the person you chose to be. Why? Because she's spiritually filthy. She has no spiritual stability. She has no spiritual senses. That crown chakra is blocked. That third eye is blocked. That throat chakra is off the chain. This is why everything comes out of her mouth is negative. Her solar plexus, all of her spiritual portals are unaligned. All of them. 7 of Cups, they're all over the place. She has no identity. Our spiritual connection to interconnectedness and our spiritual connection to our generation, our ancestors, is what gives us identity. She has no connection to that. All that girl knows is drama. All she knows is negativity. That's what she knows. And this is what she's connected herself to. This is why she watch other people and try to become them. She has no identity of her own. Why? She's not spiritually connected to anything. She needs a spiritual cleansing. The girl is dealing, she's a product of a generational curse. So we can stop saying generational curses don't exist. We're watching it. We're watching it. We got front row tickets to see her fight herself spiritually. She doesn't want to listen to anybody. Why? Because she's comfortable. She's comfortable laying in this toxic energy. That's all she knows. That's all she wants to know. She doesn't want to listen. Why? Throat chakra block. Root chakra blocked. When all of this stuff in your body that keeps you aligned on your purpose becomes blocked, you become unhinged. You become very aggressive. You become angry. All of this, the heart chakra, jealous, hearted, envious. We know what comes along with all of that stuff. So we could just stop trying to figure out what's wrong with her. She needs a spiritual cleansing. She needs to find connectedness to who she is genetically and spiritually. And she needs a curse breaking cleanser. Period. The girl is suffering from a generational curse. A lot of us are out here suffering from it. A lot of people suffer from it. They get in toxic relationships, can't get out of it. And they find comfort in it. Why would anybody want to continue to return back to something they consciously know is harming them? Can anybody answer that? They say people crazy. Well, I say that people are spiritually filthy. Because if you were spiritually cleansed and all of these things were aligned, you would be walking on a purpose. You will be walking in a path that is going to benefit not just your life, but those around you. This young lady is not benefiting anybody around her. She's not helping anybody. Okay? So she got on this purpose for a reason, to be a generational curse breaker. However, she's perpetuating the generational curse. And y'all are watching it play out. She needs a spiritual cleansing. Period. Her success is headed towards failure. Epic failure. She continues to defame people and do the things that she's doing, saying negative things, lying on people, just like the boxer guy, the Russian boxer guy, she said took his pad out of the glove. That's illegal. That could turn into a legal issue because she's publicly saying he did that to her. If they sue her and she lose her boxing license, then what? Give it 2 years tops or less. Claressa Shields continued to keep going on the path she's going on. The divine is going to take her back to where she came from. Back to the same low-life gossiping people, partying people, hanging out people that don't want to do nothing with their lives besides party and drink, gamble, and all of that. Look at that. Drinking, party, gambling, and staying in poverty. Ain't doing nothing. The divine is going to send her back there. Because what she's experiencing right now is the avoidance of her spiritual awakening. Because she doesn't want to see herself. She needs spiritual cleansing. This is what the girl needs. Period. Drinking, partying, poverty. She's headed back in that direction. Think I'm lying if you want to. Arrogance, narcissism, no responsibility. Hell, the girl is living in complete turmoil. She pretends to be happy. She's not. Everything is about a show. Everything is about a show. But she has no direction. None. So, it is what it is. I wish I could help her, but she wouldn't listen to nobody. And I know she wouldn't listen to me. She don't even listen to other celebrities. She goes off on them. I wouldn't waste my time, reaching out to her, even though it's sad to see it. Somebody in so much inner turmoil with themselves and taking it out on everybody else. Playing victim, all of that. She's cold, detached. She has no respect or boundaries what she does to other people, So it is what it is. You out here trying to go for an entire legendary boxer's daughter. That's your history. She's fighting against her own cultural history. Who does that? I don't like using the word humble. I don't believe in that. But I do feel like people definitely should have discretion and modesty. And Mrs. Shields lack both because the girl needs a spiritual cleansing. She has a lot of dark energy on her, tons of it. Tons of it. And it's generational. 4 or 5 generations in depth. Somebody in her family played with witchcraft back in the day. I'm sure she might know about it. Somebody in her family might know about it. But this girl knows what she's doing. She's not ignorant to her own designs. She's methodical. Very methodical. Okay? So you go out here plastering people's characters, lying on other professionals, you're going to get sued and you're going to get your boxing license revoked. And you're going to end up back in Flint, broken in debt. And this mess that you're doing with Papoose and all of these people, come on. It is what it is. Sis, you need a spiritual cleansing. Everybody is not against you. They want you to wake up to reality. But first, you need to get those binders off your third eye and off your crown chakra. Get those spiritual parasites off of you so that you can step into the reality of seeing exactly what you're doing to tarnish yourself, your own reputation, and your own career. On that note, I'm out. Peace.